Hey there, everyone. How's it going? If you haven't seen one of my payroll videos before, this is a Ken Braverman payroll video. It's payroll in Excel. It's not 2019. It's not. It's actually 2020 that we're looking at. And this is a really funny segue because we're going to show an advancement and an enhancement to the payroll in Excel file that helps you do your small business payroll, helps you just take control of it. If you're paying somebody right now, or you just run your small business and you want to have a handle on your finances and your employees and what you owe for all the different taxes and the pay stubs and everything in a quick little place that does everything for you and is formula driven and works awesome. That's why I've been doing this for over a decade for people to help them take control of their business. Well, things have gotten even better. The 2020 and going into 2021 version is now going to have they look like pieces of paper. Look at this. Doesn't this look like a PDF? I mean, doesn't it look like what you can print and mail into the IRS? The answer is yes. The answer is do it. Absolutely. So we're going to have all types of forms that automatically fill in just like they're coming out of a PDF, but they're just copied and simulated here in the Microsoft Excel file, and they're going to change whenever you change stuff like drop-down menus for months and things like that. So let's talk about the 940, which is about unemployment. And there's a lot of reasons to talk about unemployment right now. There's an annual filing. The reason I just changed that to 2020 was that the upcoming year is coming. I don't think there was a 2020 form available yet because it's due after the end of the year. You can't know your final unemployment numbers until the year's over, unless you closed up shop before the end of the year, which unfortunately a lot of businesses did this year. But the point is you have to file this thing, and instead of just giving you a export of the data, which looks more like this. When it comes to like a 940, you just choose the quarter. This is the way the payroll file works right now, is you can change the dates and change stuff here and generate reports, but the reports are localized in this form. They don't look like what you literally just needed to print, right? Well, now it's literally going to be just what you need to print. So time is going to be saved. Oh, and little pop-ups in pink happen when you don't enter in information because you need to enter it in manually. We're going to get to that in a second. But this is just how different and how much better it is. It's going to save you a bunch of time. I've done this, of course, for myself for businesses, but also dealing with all of you who use the file and get updates from me every year. I know you're going to be excited, and so am I about having this automatic now. So here's what the 941 is getting started to look like. Here is I'm formatting this and inserting this into the template file, but looks great, right? Looks phenomenal. Look at this. Beautiful, right? Some of that stuff you're going to have to manually check a box, or maybe you got to sign your name, you got to print your name. You still have to do the normal stuff that you need to do by hand, but everything else is going to come and print out without really formatting issues. This stuff should come out of your printer perfectly, right? So great, great, great. Now let's talk about unemployment in the 940. So annual report. What is basically the 940 asking for? What does it have to really do with in your business? And the answer is if you are if you're operating in just one state and you filed, whatever that state has sent you the unemployment information. For example, I have a list of all the states and their unemployment wage-based maximums, meaning how much uh, the first 52,700 is taxable for state unemployment. This is not federal unemployment. I'm talking about state unemployment. In Washington State, it's 52,000, and they would send you a rate or something that you would put here, and then it would start to do all the formulas in the file for you. Many different states have different amounts. You can see the big ones and the small ones. Like, what's the lowest state? I actually would like to know the answer to this question. Let's do a little sort here. This is as of 2020, of course. It's going to get updated in 21. Sort by ascending should be the lowest wage base. The Virgin Islands. Well, if you're not in the Virgin Islands, that ain't going to help. Arizona, California, Florida, and Tennessee tied for $7,000. There we go. Alabama, Virginia, Maryland, DC. So there's interesting states. I would not have thought California would have had a low wage base. Is that right? I'll have to double check that, but that's what it says. So anyway, let's talk about federal unemployment and the 940 and how this PDF works, and talking about what you're gonna have to do and what you're not gonna have to do when it comes to these kind of forms in the file this year. So you've got ability to type in this stuff here. So you type your type your stuff here. And of course, oh, what if you're like, Ken, I don't want to be able to break stuff and type stuff. Oh my God, Ken, I don't want to pull this into no man's land and make this all screwed up. The answer is of course. Well, what we're going to do on the final version is say, this is how you do this. The areas where you want to be able to type stuff, you right click it. It's a self-formatting issue, and it's something called protection. And it's about protecting the cell and making it locked or unlocked. We don't want these cells that I just held down control and highlighted, all these multiple employer identification cells. We want to be able to use those, but we want to lock everything else around it. So we just unlock those cells. And what happens then is when you go up to protecting a sheet, which is what we can do if you don't want to, if you don't want to be scared that you're going to type over something, is just protect it with no password and only allow yourself to select unlock cells. You don't even have to put a password here, just leave it blank. Just go okay. And now all of a sudden the only places where we can touch in this file are right here. And you can just go right down the line. Whoops. And it's really annoying to work with because we haven't unhidden all the other cells yet. And so the only places we can type are in here. Well, that ain't going to work. So let's unprotect our sheet right now. And now all of a sudden we're back to normal, but there's other cells we want to be able to type in. This one, 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 this one. Right click, you go through the same process and you make them unlock cells. You go back and you can do protect sheet and all that stuff if you wanted to. And all of a sudden you don't have to worry about touching outside the lines, right? Anyway, just a nice little lesson about protecting a sheet and unlocking or unlocking cells really, and being allowed to select on. That's the important thing to remember here is when you protect the sheet, you just want to have this one, the select unlock cells, checked. You don't want to be selecting lock cells. So we're not going to do it right now though. Anyway, all right. So what happened in this file and what's going on? What about the wages? What about the tax? What do you have to do on this form? Let's go right down the line and see if we can do this in under a few minutes. So total payments to all your employees, these are going to be a taxable wage base for FUTA or federal unemployment tax. It's going to come out of the file. We've got all of our formulas and all our fun stuff in this pay period record sheet. I've done in the videos talk about all the stuff, but there's a column for FUTA wages, and everything above 7,000 is going to go into this excess FUTA wages. So when your employee Johnny Appleseed here goes throughout the year, we're looking at a weekly pay period right now. When they pass by it, all of a sudden they no longer have to pay tax on any more FUTA wages because they went over it for the year. So that's what is going on here and why this formula is a little annoying and why it's better to have this done automatically than have to pull out a pencil and pad and try to figure this out yourself because you don't know when somebody crossed over 7,000 and anyway. So you end up getting this excess wages, right? There's payments exempt from FUTA tax, by the way, if there's insurance or uh, there's non-taxable stuff like an employer-funded 401k or insurance, something in wages maybe that isn't taxable by FUTA. It's rare, but there are some things, and that would sum it up there. Total payments made to each employee in excess. So of this 152,026 that was paid, 137,526 was not taxable to FUTA because it was wages above that 7,000 for each employee. So this adds the two of these together, and then the taxable FUTA is this minus this is that, and you pay $7 because it's 6%. If you're only in one state and you get the maximum 5.4% credit, which I'm not going to go into full detail about all that here, but let's assume that you're a simple employer. A lot of employers have this exclusion. You get a credit for 5.4%. You only have to pay the 0.006. There's a whole complicated thing about doing this if you're in multiple states, and I've done that before, but I'm not going to go over it in this video because it's a special case and it's too complicated. So hopefully this stuff is blank, but if you're in more than one state, this form isn't going to work, and I've got to add more formulas and programs into your file, so know that. Total FUTA tax is going to be here. Okay, something's in pink. Something's not white like the rest of the stuff. So I added a conditional formatting in here that says FUTA tax deposited for the year, including overpayment or whatever prior. You got to say, did I pay these people? Did I call it in? Did I call in and pay my money per quarter like I was supposed to? Because there's a quarterly option, really should pay by quarter for most employers. Well, if you did and you paid the right amount, it's $87. Good job. What if you didn't pay? I should actually make it not go pink. It's a good point because if you didn't pay anything, If you didn't pay anything, you got to put equal sign quote quote. Oh, that ain't gonna work either. We just found an error. We're gonna fix that. Let me show you what we're gonna do. So I made this thing. I made a conditional formatting rule. This is a really fun trick to ever, if you're ever doing Excel and you want things to be doing something by color, it's a great way to do it is to use conditional formatting rules. And I said, if this value is 0, which is this cell right here, this cell is cell BC134. I said if that is 0, then it's going to be pink. Well, what if that is 0? We don't want to override the form and make that thing print in pink. So the answer is, here's what we're going to do. I'll do a really complicated thing and say we're going to delete this rule completely. And we're going to create a new rule. And we're going to use a formula. And what the formula is going to do is it's going to say equals is formula BC134, it was, right? Is that the cell? Equals false. And what that's going to do is, if that is not, then this is not equal to false. If it's formula BC34, actually, that's all we need to do. It's true. If that's a formula, I'm going to make that thing pink again. Okay? Okay. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to say equals type your annual deposits. Boom. Perfect. This comes out to be 0 also, too. You got 2 errors, so you have to do something here. You have to answer the question, is this FUTA tax deposited for the year? How much did you pay? Your answer should be 87. But let's undo that. What if your answer is 0? Then your answer is 0, and it works. So that's the area where you have to type in there. And if you wanted to save this thing right there, then you could understand that you need to fill that out to complete this 940 every year. If there's a balance due, maybe you only paid 35 bucks, you owe 52. Maybe you overpaid by accident and you're going to get a 23 overpayment refund. Either way, you're going to have the option of doing that. That's pretty cool. If you put any formula in that cell, it's going to turn pink. It doesn't have to be typed into it. So say, hey, do something. You can do anything you want there. Yeah, it's still going to stay pink, and then you just type in your number later. It's pretty fun. Okay, so that's your Excel lesson on conditional formatting and protecting sheets and the 940, which is now going to be printable. All of you who've watched my payroll videos in the past and have used one of them are going to see the benefit as we convert all the things we can to printable sheets automatically. That's going to be fun because payroll is supposed to be easy. Everyone should just be able to walk around with a tiny little tablet and enter in their hours, enter in their stuff right here, enter in their employee information easily, have this stuff done, and just go and refresh a pay stub and get a pay stub. Boom, like right here, right? Pick a month, any month. There's a pay stub. It's 1,900 bucks. So I would say that is really, really fun stuff. I'm excited to see that and how all the cool things we're going to be able to do in these printable sheets to make sure that you fill them out correctly. And anyway, yeah, so that's Payroll 2020. It's going to be Payroll. We're already November 21st. I have a ton of work to do to get Payroll 2021 ready. It's not going to be ready till literally like definitely after Christmas and probably right around New Year's. So yeah, I'm going to make my promise that for everyone who's going to be contacting me, if you're still watching this video, for everyone who's going to be contacting me about Payroll 2021, I'm going to say that New Year's Day is the day I try to start sending stuff to you guys and have a functional version. Hopefully that will be the case, but tax laws are getting updated and changed. In the full 50 state version, I can't imagine the full 50 state version is going to be fully ready by the 1st. It's going to be sometime in January. But for those who are relying on me and have your payroll periods starting early in the year, expect right there at the beginning of January is when I will have this checked around and ready to go. And and it should be exciting because it's going to be even better this year. There's all these. Oh yeah, there's a page two. Did we talk about the page two? It does it automatically. Yeah, forgot about that. There's a whole nother page, but it brings stuff in automatically. Um, Actually, that's good to know because they're not on the same sheet. So keep that in mind. So we should really set up a macro that prints these two pages automatically or some type of automatic thing so you know to print both. But I guess is there a signature on this one? No, you'd realize you didn't sign something. And it says next. You'd figure it out. All right, guys, I'm out for now. Good luck. Payroll should be easy, so let's make it so.